Hi there. We are day 220 of our Through the New Testament in 1 year. Man, this year's going fast, huh? I think time's getting shorter towards the end, right? So, let's jump over here. We're finishing up Romans 9 today, right? And he starts with, so then, not on human will or extortion. So, we're going to jump back to and find a good stopping point, okay? Okay. She was told the older will serve the younger. He's talking about Sarah and Ishmael and Isaac, right? As it is written, Jacob I loved, Esau I hated. Okay. What then shall we say? Is there injustice on God's part? By no means. For he says to Moses, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy, and I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion, right? I'm not talking just about Jews, okay? Or Israelites. Okay, so then, it depends not on human will or exertion, but on God who has mercy. For the scripture says to Pharaoh, for this very purpose I have raised you up, that I might show my power in you, and that my name might be proclaimed in all the earth. So then, he has mercy on whomever he wills, and hardens whomever he wills. Right? You will say to me then, why does he still find fault? For who can resist this will? But who are you, O man, to answer back to God? Will what is molded say to its mother, why have you made me like this? Has the potter no right over the clay to make out the same lump one vessel for honorable and another use for dishonorable use? Right. What if God, desiring to show his wrath and to make known his power, has endured with much patient vessels of wrath prepared for destruction, in order to make known the riches of his glory for vessels of mercy, which he has prepared beforehand for glory? Even us, whom he has called, not from the Jews, but also from the Gentiles, that'll be us, as indeed he says in Hosea, those who are not my people, I will call my people. I always love that verse. And her who is not beloved, I will call beloved. And in the very place where it was said to them, you are not my people, they will be called sons of the living God. Okay, isn't that great? That's us. Okay. And Isaiah cries out concerning Israel. Though the number of the sons of Israel be as the sand in the sea, only a remnant of them will be saved. For the Lord will carry out his sentence upon the earth fully and without delay. And as Isaiah predicted, if the Lord of hosts has not left us offspring, we would have been like Sodom and become like Gomorrah. All right. Don't you love that part up here in Hosea? Those who are not my people, I will call my people, and her who was not beloved, I will call beloved. And in the very place where it was said to them, you are not my people, they will be called sons of the living God. That's us Gentiles. Okay. What shall we say then? The Gentiles who did not pursue righteousness have attained it, that is, a righteousness that is by faith. But that Israel, who pursued a law that would lead to righteousness, did not succeed in reaching that law. Why? Because they did not pursue it by faith, true, but as if it were based on works. They have stumbled over the stumbling stone, as it is written. Behold, I am laying in Zion a stone for a stumbling, and a rock of offense, and whoever believes in him will not be put to shame. Right? There was an old song in the 80s or 90s in the last century, a chorus based on this line right here, right? I lay in Zion. Right? Good stuff. So this is good stuff, calling out, right? Those who are not my people, I will call my people. Right? And the very place where it was said to them, you are not my people, they will be called sons of the living God. Oh, love that stuff. Right? So there you go. That's 9. And Romans is a great book to study over and over again because he's talking to us. A very similar people, a very similar government. Okay. Tomorrow we're doing all of Romans 10, right? The message of salvation to all. So there you have it. That's day 220, okay? Catch up on an EMM. These are nice short videos, especially in Romans. Romans is a great study especially for today's times, and, very similar to what we're going through. So, and remember, Paul, who was a Roman citizen, wrote this before he ever went to Rome. Okay, he wrote this from Corinth, I believe. So, but he ended up in Rome, didn't he? So, there you go. Give us a like if you think about it, and tomorrow we'll continue. See you then.